All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another Onitar stream. Going to be smashing out some progress. So obviously we've been coming up with a bunch of items somewhat recently within the last couple of streams. It's now the 14th of December, so we're a little while away from like the 26th of November or whenever the last stream was. A couple weeks downstream of things. But that's okay, because we've got some updates. We've got some things we can do. So over on the right, you'll see items.def. I'll actually move it over here as well. And then, I don't know. We'll just have it on both monitors, because why not? Our goal is to write as many things as we need for stuff like this, for the sake of actually making the items available, data entry-wise. So that is what we will be focused on. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll move this folder out of the way. And I guess we could just get started. So, I haven't actually done any data entry. This is all stuff that Veek did as a demo many moons ago. What's up, Dark Zero Warrior? Welcome. But we'll be doing some data entry for these, so probably the best way to do this is get this item table on my other monitor so that I can peer through them all. I'm thinking we probably want something like... I guess we can probably just go from... That is a good question. How I sort these. I think we'll do something like... So I could sort these by, like, item branch, or we can sort them by item slot that they occupy. I feel like item branch is probably a little bit more sensible, but then there's, like... I don't know, there's a bunch of different questions there, because then we still have to sort them by a third axis, which is the tier of item. But I guess we can have the tier thing be, like, top tier items are lower in the list or something, so the inverse sorting or something like that. It's probably not that important, I can always just change it later, but I'm just trying to think about organization before I actually get started on this stuff. I've been pretty good, I've been doing some stuff. Started the No Frauds Club channel on the other side of things. We're growing pretty well. In about 2 weeks, we're rocketing up towards 300 subs, which is nice. A lot of people checking out our interviews. I did interviews, conversations, whatever you want to call them, with Jonathan Blow, who is a veteran game designer, and Casey Muratori, who is a veteran programmer and engine architect. So you can check those out if you haven't seen them already. I guess I didn't make a post on my YouTube section. I should say my interview with Casey Muratori released recently. Go check it out! Exclamation point. There you go. Now it's up there. Well, it's mostly just so that you don't have to squint to see the messages elsewhere. It also has the benefit of moving all of our messages into the Discord server under the chat thing. The Stream Cross Station. I can't even remember if I allow normies to actually use that, or if you have to be an audience accessor. But either way, it doesn't really matter. So we have core, head, and glove. I guess the cloak could probably be called the back instead, since cloak is a kind of item that would be there, but it wouldn't be the only thing. And then there's legs and feet. That's where like hand and glove become a little bit fucky. Like what? But you can't call it like weapon because some non-weapon items exist for that slot. So I guess it would be like handheld or something. Well, whatever. We'll keep it the way it is for now. All right, so we need to duplicate this and set it to, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so then we have Massacre, Firebrand, Iris, Shepherd, Architect, and Tyrant. So Aggression Inhibitor is under Massacre, and it is a head item. And then the other item we have, which is the Traveling Twice gun, is, I'm pretty sure, Nemesis hand. Yeah. All right. We are now prepared to start adding items. Definitely going to be interesting getting these hooked up in game to the point where we actually do have an easy way to equip these items in Path Core. I know there's some higher tier ones. I'll get to those in a moment. Anvil Core, Omen Core, and last two are Emperor Core and Soul Thief Core. So then we also have the Warden Core, Kinesis Core. Okay. All right, let's take a look at these items. What's up, Knight of the Realm? Welcome. Okay. This is why I have this other view on the right, because I'll be using this pretty frequently. So, attack damage 5, weapon range 1. Oh yeah, and then of course we need type and icon ID. Things are pretty goddamn good, homie. I assume core is, yeah, okay. How about you? Oh, I see tier is also here. I didn't actually know tier was a thing, so this would be common traits, unstable. Okay. We can actually slap these on everything. This is... Relearning how to do some stuff isn't appealing like color thing. If you can elaborate on what that means, maybe I can help. Potent is the tier I was thinking of. If you mean... Oh, I was about to say Artosis, who isn't even who we were talking about. No, actually, I haven't found a way to reach out to that dude. It's probably a case of me not knowing how to actually find him, so... I tried searching for his Twitter, and I couldn't find his Twitter anywhere. Even though I'm pretty sure I follow him, so that would be really funny. I didn't look too far, though. I think I was not... I don't remember what was going on. Let's see. We had... Ioken, StarCraft. He has his own channel, so... There he is on over there. But he's got no links to anything. Maybe he'll have links in his videos? Aha! I found him. Alright, drop him a follow. He's not very active, so I don't know how soon he'll actually check this stuff. Maybe I can find his, like an email or something. Nope. Oh, actually, I do remember. I looked at his channel, but I didn't look at his videos. That's why I couldn't find him. Well, whatever. I'll, smash the, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do to get his attention, but I'm sure I can find a way. Making players able to be extra colors. Well, I don't know about Blizzard app thing, but if you mean you're using remastered, then some... I mean, I don't know any details about that, besides the fact that I think they whitelisted some extra colors, so you should actually be able to pick them by default, but... That's a whole mess. I don't know if we have anybody who actually knows what's up with remastered. I guess if you're still in the Discord server, I think, so you could probably message UED Commander. He knows about remastered stuff, but I don't even know how active he's been recently within Brood War. I think he might have also moved his focuses somewhere else. But yeah. If there's something I can help with, don't hesitate to reach out. I can probably DM him on Twitch. Okay. I will add him to the spreadsheet. So, if I go one word below, I forget the guy's actual real life name, so I'll say Brood War Caster and well, I guess we'll just say semi-professional. Not contacted. Okay. That way I won't actually forget. Yeah, I mean, I just stopped using remastered, so because all of the updates keep breaking stuff. Like even recently, I don't even think UED Commander is working on his mod anymore, but he has to perpetually update it, like at least once a month or something to that effect. Sometimes even more frequently because Blizzard repeatedly breaks stuff, which is a pretty good bit. All my work is now available exclusively on the older version of the game, which is really trivial to install. And you can, like, actually get way better multiplayer out of it, too. Like, the turn rate can really mess around with you on remastered. Although, this is more of a niche issue. But... Alright. So I was looking for movement speed stat. It looks like it's just called speed in this. So we'll say speed 1. All right. Now I was looking for... Veek, if you're still hanging, I would like to know what the syntax is for adding abilities. I guess it would just be ability. I guess these would use name keys instead of snake case. All right, I'll do that. It might not even be supported right now, but that's fine. I can just comment them out if necessary. And yes, as you asked earlier, I am planning another round of interviewing Thorin and Richard Lewis. I already reached out to Richard, but he's busy all the time, so I probably have to smash him over and over again to see if he's interested. He might also just not be. But Thorin, on the other hand, usually does reply when I message him, so I'll just... I don't know. Really, he replies and he like wants to support endemic creators for stuff like Counter-Strike. But if I message him with an idea that he's not interested in, which is not in like tangentially or not directly linked to Counter-Strike, he might just be like, no. So that should take you to where you need to go. Okay. We'll jump down and fill up the other cores now. Oh, something I didn't do is get the icon ID for stuff like this, which is 322. Yeah, that's what I was figuring, Veek. But I wanted to confirm. Lest I be pranked. Wait, where am I? Oh, here we go. What did you do for weapon cooldown over here? Minus 0.05, which is 5%. Okay. So minus 0.25. We'll need to obviously overhaul a lot of these stats, but that's fine. What's up, A-Pause? Welcome. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, I see. Splash 1, 2. Yeah. It's just one of those challenges, or not really challenges. It's just something we're going to have to take a look at later. I'm not particularly worried about it, but... I forgot to do... data entry for the abilities here. Horizon Core. Thanks, homie. If you check them out, I hope you enjoy them. Well, it all started with Jonathan Blow, whom I messaged on Twitter and got him to say, sure. So I think I just hit him with a good pitch, basically. Because I later realized that he says in a couple of other interviews that he doesn't accept interview requests with just anybody, which was pretty cool. I got to, after the fact, big myself up a little bit. But, yeah, he seemed like he enjoyed it. This is what I tell everybody. On the Jonathan Blow one in particular, if I had just had 30 extra minutes, I would have been able to, like, tie that whole conversation up, and it would have been a phenomenal thing from, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it kind of started, I was definitely a bit on the nervous side at the beginning, and then things settled pretty frequently after that, or pretty easily after that. But, I would have really liked, I liked that anyway, but I would have really liked it if, it was a little bit longer. But he did agree to come back on later, so he seemed to enjoy the conversation, is my read on that anyway. Yeah, I mean, he had no idea who I was, and he did zero, like, he didn't have time, he's a very busy guy, right? So he doesn't have time to, like, research stuff, right? So he had no idea who I was, which is pretty funny. But, he still decided it was a cool idea, so. Oh, I think I forgot to check the price of the rival core. Yeah, it's 2,000. So I just need to scroll back up here. Oh, actually, why would I do that when I can do this? It's down here. Easy. That just means that this one is also likely 2,000, which is fine. And then, yeah, after I did the interview with Jonathan Blow, I emailed Casey Muratori, and he was like, yeah, sure. And so, and when he was pretty funny. He's actually a really funny guy, like, and pretty laid back, pretty easy to get conversation started with. So, but when we were in the sort of virtual green room before I started recording, he was like, yeah, you passed the Jonathan Blow test. And he was totally saying it in like a tongue-in-cheek way. But he was basically saying, like, yeah, and John doesn't, like, he's even more picky than I am, so obviously if you're able to get an interview with him, odds are you're a cool guy, or something to that effect, so it's pretty cool. What's up, Lucy? Yeah. The John one's pretty solid, I think, overall. I think they both went pretty well. But, a lot of people who don't know me, and that's most people who click on those videos, do have a tendency to think that I talk for too long, because they're probably just expecting like your average interview where the person who's interviewing or the host of the show has nothing to add to the conversation, or very little to add, I should say. Don't want to be disingenuous. And so they're just like, hey, why is this guy talking? Get back to the other guy talking, the guy I clicked on for, which on the one hand is understandable, but on the other hand is kind of funny because it's like, I don't know. You clicked on my channel, dude. Get used to it. Homie. You know what I mean? There are some parts where I talk... there's at least one question which will be really obvious towards the end where I took too long. But for the most part, like, just the fact that I would use maybe a minute or longer to add context to a question rubbed people the wrong way. Which I don't really care that much about, because those people will just learn to put up with my style of interviewing, or not click on future interviews. And so that problem will probably solve itself, if I had to guess. So we're almost done with data entry for the cores, and after that we'll be starting on the heads, I would have to guess. Oh, I didn't update the Kinesis core. It's 256. No, I do not know. Oh, you mean Cameo, the app where you can go prank celebrities? Yeah. Motivated haters. I don't mind that either. That's better in some ways, anyway. If you can withstand the psychic barrage of idiots on the internet, in some ways it is better to have motivated haters. And in some ways I already have that. Like there's people who, before YouTube hid the dislikes, it was more obvious because you could actually see it. There's people who like still to this day just mass downvote videos that are like, it's like a clip of a briefing or a campaign or something that I made, or like a birthday present or something. Like there's not even really a reason to downvote that. I mean, like if you didn't think it was good quality, that's one thing, but it's like literally bespoke birthday present shit. So like they're clearly just downvoting it to hope that I see it and then have some sort of negative response to it or something. I just think it's funny. So in a way, I already have those kinds of people, right? But, you know. I think people have posted screenshots of something like that where they would have like night elves and Zerg from Brood War and shit. I am not really interested in Red Alert 2 though, so I don't plan on playing it. Yeah, DF was telling me about a browser extension that does that. At some point, I think they won't be able to pull API data for new videos or something, but they can like archive historical stuff or something. From what you heard on his stream, he's now in Florida, and for the new year, he will be in Europe. That's interesting. If he's in Florida, he's in the same time zone as me, so. But not for long, it sounds like. Do the interviews for myself primarily? Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm doing them because I'm interested in the guest. There's like a secondary motivation, which I won't say has no bearing on it, but isn't the primary motivating factor by any means, which is that these are big name people that have their own audience that are interested in what they say, and thus it spreads the word of what I'm doing. But that doesn't mean that it's like a cynical thing either. I actually think that I'm doing something that should be spread to people. Fundamentally, if I'm not going to go and form a company and find, enthusiasts who have high standards and also are very competent, who can assist me in the production of high quality video games, I don't see anybody else doing that, or very few people doing that. And particularly when it comes to competitive games. Like, one of the reasons why I'm building this MOBA, there's one reason why, which is, and this is like the business-oriented decision, although this does make it sound very cynical when I explain it this way, but it's basically like the other projects that I want to do are way higher scale and will require a backing and a budget, and we don't have that yet. So let's build a game that is smaller scale that we can do, that we know we can do, and it'll be a nice learning curve for us. It'll be a nice experience for us, but it'll also, hopefully, assuming it succeeds, be a source of funding so that we can go do the other games, right? And so there's a lot of reasons that make sense to do it. But another reason I'm building a MOBA is because all of the other MOBAs are toxic as fuck. And I have like family members and friends who play MOBAs and have miserable experiences right now. And I will measurably positively impact their lives by building a MOBA that's not shit and not toxic. And so that will actually make a positive end result in the world. Even if that sounds really crazy to say, it's measurable because I know these people and I talk with them very frequently. So, yeah. The odds of, like, that's something that nobody else is going to do. Not even somebody like Jonathan Blow or anybody else who's like, I can trust that they have deeply thought of everything that they're doing and will hopefully make a positive impact in the world and probably already have with their games. Like, they're not going to make a MOBA, so... They'll use math to figure out the dislike values. Sounds like it probably won't work. I was working on the Anvil core, which is 557. What's up, Bathrilafal? Oh, this is Warden Core. 545. Okay. All right, now we get to go for these. This is 625. Range 1, site 2, ability servitude. Saying you want to start with a smaller project because you need money before you can move on to larger projects isn't setting goal. It's literally just a good business decision. Yeah, I think there's just like, so there's like the average person in America is very money focused, even the youth, right? It's kind of because they were, I think a lot of people were raised without, they were raised with like the rock star mentality in mind, and they didn't really see people who settled for lower amounts of dollars in their bank account in favor of like in exchange for something better elsewhere in life or whatever. So they don't really know, like, they may never know wealth in their lives, but even if they did know it or they did experience it or whatever, they did achieve it, they might not really know what to do with it afterwards. You know what I mean? So like, what I'm getting at here is that there's a lot of people who are very financial focused, right? So but then there's like a counterculture of people who think that like they're kind of like maybe naive because they haven't done stuff, or they've just like zeroed in entirely on the opposite of being financially focused. And I think that any business oriented decision is cynical, or they view it in a cynical light or whatever. So in my experience, a lot of people fall into that category. A vocal minority of the internet falls into that category. And so if you ever talk about like, yeah, we're doing this because we need some, you know, some dollars, they might take that as an admission that you're fucking around and not necessarily serious. Particularly if you decry industry trends and stuff, like people think that they caught you on a, you know, a bit of hypocrisy if you say, "Oh, well, we need money," but that's just a reality. Like I'm not gonna go hungry or lose my house or something because I need to make a game, bro. I'll find a way to do both. But yeah, as Fagudo hints at, it does make a lot of sense to go down the MOBA route or something smaller scale than a large scale RTS. Even if it was a small scale RTS, it would make sense to do that because it would provide us with the ability to get our name out there as a developer that actually cares about the products that they create. Obviously, it would give us the experience necessary to say that we shipped a game and that we maintained it afterwards and we added content and we patched it and we fixed bugs and we deployed a ranking system and we deployed all of the infrastructure we need to deploy any game in the first place, like our launcher and servers and accounts and all this other stuff. So I think it makes a lot of sense anyway to do it. There's a lot of benefits to doing it this way. So. Let's see. We'll do set underneath. Oh yeah, the other thing is like, do we have a weapon or whatever? Like, can we put weapon as a separate thing or not? That's the question. Oh, Viker, you're here. If I need to link a weapon to an item, what do I do? Is that even supported currently? It doesn't look like it according to these, because these are offsets, right? So I guess it would have to be something like, it would be weapon and then traveling twice gun, or something like that. We'll comment that out for now. Most businesses focus on earning money instead of delivering value. On the other hand, we want to deliver value, but we need money to do so, yeah. Well, it needs to actually change the weapon. Like, if an item has a weapon attached to it, it needs to change the projectile and a bunch of other stuff, right? So, like, it needs to override base weapon stats. So I'm not really sure how you would do that with the offsets here because these add up. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because, oh no, it does matter if you are dual wielding one-handed weapons, or if you have two items that have weapons attached to them, I should say. I was gonna say it doesn't matter because if you have if you replace a weapon with another weapon, then your weapon just converts. But yeah, that is actually going to matter. So, like, you can't just have traveling twice gun defined with weapon stats to add to your base attack because your attack physically changes. And if you have multiple weapons, then you have multiple attacks, like unique attacks, because you have multiple unique weapons. I know that the offsets under this category add up, but that's not the same thing as what I'm talking about or how the system is conceptualized. Because if you have the traveling twice gun as your one weapon won't affect the other. How are you going to handle that, though? How do you even find out if that is true? Because there might be a hand item that adds damage, as an example. So I don't even know how you would hardcode a solution to that, let alone anything else. It's attack damage. 15 factor 2. 10, 7. Also, projectile speed, like some of these stats need to be the base that are then modulated by the offset stats. So, like, all of these are that way, actually. Like, when you get 0.5, minus 0.05%, when you get minus 0.05 weapon cooldown, it needs to be taking that out of 0.6 as opposed to some other number. That might be a bad example because that's pretty easy to figure out. But, like, projectile speed, 30 can't be added to what you already have. 30 has to be added or subtracted by the other things. It has to be the number that you're operating on. And then obviously if you have another weapon, then it has to do that differently. So okay. Back to head. Oh wait, I didn't. Oh wait, no, I did. Okay. Okay. All right, that's all the Nemesis head items. The what I'm interested in is how soon do we take the items def file that I have here and then generate the site, the item table on the site from that? That would be pretty cool. I'll need to do abilities, of course, but whatever. Oh, I see. That's why I made it so quick. It's a melee attack. Forgot about that. All right, that's every nemesis item. Easy, boys. Oh wait, no, it isn't. Is it? It is. Okay. I could have sworn that there were going to be more items than that, but you know how it goes. Oh, you know what? I forgot entirely about the neck. It's a good prank. Oops. Okay. Oh, I just realized aggression inhibitor is the wrong icon. It's probably because it doesn't, these icons that I'm plugging in don't exist in the game assets yet. Where was I? Oh. 297. Oh, I didn't even think about targets. That's another thing that I don't know if is in here. Target. There's target count, but not targets. Okay. That's fine. I don't need to add that right this second. I will make a note of it, though. What's up, Milestone? The asterisk is for default hotkey. Otherwise, I could do like X if I want to always have this item replace X. But for items, it doesn't make any sense to. I'm actually not sure if we use... I think we do use specifically... can't find textability. That seems like a fraud. Oh, it's called order, I think. Yeah, so like for training Mason, it's set to Q, for example. For on the command center. Whereas, like, there is no default hotkey for that order, but other orders will have a default hotkey, which I can then just use asterisk for instead of hard coding. Oh, and I think all of those will be, I mean, all of those will be user selectable as well. You can just, like, modify your hotkeys and stuff. No, this string key here points it to abilities.def, which I don't even know if it exists yet. So it might not currently, but it will point to an abilities.def file, or, yeah, that should be what it's called. But yeah, I hope your cold goes away pretty soon too, homie. Would hate to see that. I guess I should also ask Veek if we are doing bounties in items def. Bounties good in items. I think they will technically be an item, so I think it would make sense. Oops. What the fuck? Oh, I see what happened. Organizing this is one hell of a prank, to be honest, but you know how it is. When you have so many different things that you gotta fill out later. I would like to think I'm about halfway through with the data entry, but that's probably a fraud. Yeah, I have the item table open, which has all of the items. I just have it on my other monitor. If you would like to check them out on your own leisure, you can do so with that link. Well, I'm not really sure how else you would do this. However, the good news is once I'm done transcribing the items from the table to here, and Veek then does his magic with sending, like building the website from the items definition file, as well as all of the other definition files, we'll be in the clear. And we'll be all set. Because I'll just have to do it in this file in Notepad++ instead, and then we'll be good. Or it'll probably be in like, maybe it'll be in VS Code or something. I don't know. I'll think about what would be better. I've used both of them, so it's not like I'm more or less prolific with, or proficient, I should say. It's just plain HTML right now because we didn't actually have fields for that, right? So, like it's just a stats field. That was just a temporary solution until we create like a dedicated set of, like, we would need to reach out to Frenzy again, who's the guy who did the original icon pass, to get him to do icons. That's assuming we even want icons for all of this stuff. It might be less confusing to just have damage or whatever. I don't know. Like the plain text. I don't know. But we'll figure out some way of parsing it from the def file to just create it in general. So it should be fine. I can't remember if midline comments was supported in this. All right, that's that. I didn't mention this, and I don't think Vic did either, but we recently implemented unit responses, and I've done data entry for all Terran and shared units, not buildings. And I will be doing data entry for the rest of the units and then all of the buildings afterwards. I don't know if that won't be today. It'll be something like tomorrow or the day after, maybe. And then after that, the audio-visual thing that will be coming up afterwards is the portraits, converting them from the format that they're in to PNGs and using a sprite sheet style thing to parse them or whatever, similar to sprite sheet stuff. So that'll be cool. And then hooking it up so that obviously they talk visibly. They play the talk animation and having all of the different rules associated with them and stuff. I have a pretty good mental model of how Blizzard hooked up the system for Brood Wars. So. These are pretty easy items to en masse data entry, since they don't have weapons. I thought that was a typo, but I just had used it in comments. Pretty prank. Okay. Oh, this is Nick. There we go. Oh. This is another thing that I've got to figure out. Or we ought to figure out. All right, we're coming to the end, actually. I'll still need to add stuff like the flavor text. The acquired from fields will probably just have defaults later, but those need to be added. And I think the other stuff I'm going to need is, obviously, I need to add the abilities. I need to manually define those later. Okay. Was this bright side? Where am I? No, I'm actually an architect. We'll take a brief break as I listen to some memes. All right. Back to this. Mantle of Kings. What a name. Oh, I missed icon IDs. How could I do that? Too many threes. So we've reached a conclusion on how we're going to handle the data entry linking weapons. We'll just have items linked to weapons the same way units link to weapons. For now, I'll still define all of the weapon stats in the items def, but eventually I'll move them all over. That's just in the interest of finishing this up and not getting sidetracked beforehand. Oh, I didn't realize. Relentless pursuit. Did I miss any other? No, I didn't. Okay. feel like I'm looking down too much for some reason, which doesn't even really make sense. I guess the solution is raise up the second monitor a bit. 379. Chest, armor 5, cost 1250. Can't wait to find all the typos I made. Ah, sorry. Don't worry, if it's any consolation, it scared me just as much as it scared you. Which is probably to say, not at all. All right, one last tier to do, boys. Or not tier, but branch. Oh, I didn't even put these in the right order. That's pretty good. That was a good prank. Should probably just restart this app in case. Hailspawn Hood, homie. Now that's a name. Where am I? Shit, homie. We did it. It's the last item entered. That we have currently planned, anyway. That didn't even really take that long. Only an hour and 40 minutes. Easy, boys. I will use this opportunity to use the bathroom, and when I come back, I guess I'll probably add in the flavor text, move the weapons over, add in the... well, I don't know. I'll do those two things at least, and we'll see what else I might need to add in. So yeah, BRB. All right, I've returned. Banging this stuff out. All right. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to do is abilities, which I ought to do. Doing, if I go to Cause Monarchy and I go to Data. This is where we will find... I guess I'll just enter them in... I guess I can sort them. This is like... Firebrand. I'll just turn caps lock on here. Firebrand. Iris. Shepherd. Architect. Tyrant. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we'll do this. Although I don't remember, maybe abilities will be stored as orders. I can't remember if that's the solution that we had. I should probably ask Veek to be sure here. Decide to do abilities through orders, or should I make abilities through? Because I would actually say that the ability stuff is even more important. I think we did. I think that's what it is. So order. In that case, I can close this, go to orders, and then we'll copy this sorting here. So what do we have? Order, icon. I don't think we need a label if it's the same thing as order name, because that's what the default is. Description. Not sure how to do new lines in this either. Okay. Hockey U. Oh, I see what I did here. Okay. I guess if type isn't filled in, it's just a default, so that's fine. We have description. We don't bother with animation yet. And we have icon ID. Okay, I guess that's all we'll do now. There will be like energy cost, so I think that is a thing. So we can do 150. Order forward march. Icon. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, boys. I guess I don't care about the order here. Not really a good way to sort them. I guess charge count should actually be an item stat, if it's not already. Doesn't look like it. Should probably do charge count for items. Grenades and then yeah, maybe it should be on the order instead. Oh, we already have that documented. Nice. I did forget that some items have duplicate stuff like that. I don't even remember what that icon is, but there's something that has it. Might be the end times one, yeah. 392. do this. Oh, I didn't do this correctly. There we go. I'm pretty sure this ability or order or whatever could just be energy siphon 50 or something. I think energy siphon. Yeah, it's 50%. So we actually don't need that at all. Easy. That's a good bit. Data entry is cruel mistress. Eventually you start making a lot more mechanical errors. Not actually sure if I need to edge case the apostrophe there. Apparently I don't. Epic. Owned IMO. Now we're almost done already with the orders, which is pretty nice. I don't think I'll do the weapons in this stream. I think I'll close things up because I'm gonna actually be doing some gaming pretty soon. pretty mentally ill that I already know that icon ID by heart, Jesus. Alright, last set, bros. Apparently I pranked myself here. Yeah. Starting with the best defense, that was all architect, so good bit. Okay. All right, well, we are officially done data entrying abilities, at least as far as the current Onitar items go. Some of these aren't actually sorted correctly, but that's not really that big of a deal. I'm going to jump down here and say supplicant. And okay. Well, that was the stream. Thanks everybody who came by and spent some time shooting the shit and talking smack. I'll go ahead and push this stuff. See if Veek has been up to anything in the meantime. If he is, he did not push anything. So we'll say data entry for items and abilities. Item weapons pending. Okay, so in addition to item weapons, I guess we could do something like to do, and we'll say transfer item weapons to weapons def, and we'll say add, we'll say populate fields, I don't know, I guess we could say like create fields for charge count, bounties. There's something else that I wanted to create the field for it. And then there's, I know there's, oh yeah, it's sourced from. And then there's migrate origin, aka flavor text. Okay, that should be it there. There's also under orders we should do like to do here to Dodd, and we'll say create fields for charge count, charge cost, energy cost per second. Set bonus. Maybe others. All right, I'll recommit that. Add to-dos to items def and orders def git push. Well, I don't know what VarkTech is, but hopefully it's not a spam bot. And that is my final message to you people. And yes, indeed, I am heading off. I might be back later, but it won't be for this. So stay tuned if you want to. Dark Zero Warrior, thanks for hanging. And everybody else, thanks for hanging. Bye.